Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the flight deck. Today we're going to be taking this Boeing business jet down to Halifax. It's the first of 3 legs that'll take it over to Europe, where we'll be doing a series on the live streams, flying the Boeing business jet here around the Mediterranean. So I hope you'll join me for this flight, the first leg of which we're leaving Toronto International Airport here, where the aircraft has been serviced and prepared. And today we're flying her down to Halifax. So let's get on board and we'll get her all set up and ready to go. All right, we're here in the cockpit. It looks like you're using runway 33 today. Pretty windy out there, and I can see that they are using the northern runway. So that's what we're going to be using today as well. So we'll get the aircraft set up. So first thing we're going to do, come down, parking brakes are now on, and then we'll pop up to the overhead panel. We'll get the batteries on and guarded, standby power to auto and guarded, and the emergency exit lights are armed and guarded. Ground power is already connected, so we'll get that turned on. Outside lights will go, let's get the right position to steady. We'll get the panel lights up to a reasonable level on both the uppers, the main panels here, and then the pedestal. I've also changed some of my recording settings for Streamlabs, so hopefully it is looking a little bit nicer. We'll check that out, and we'll see. We'll clear the cautions there. All right, all the way up top now. We'll get the IRSs into nav mode and get them working away. So I'm going to carry on through our setup, and I'll be with you as we enter our route and stuff into the FMS. Alrighty, we're ready to start entering our information in. So we're good here. Our database is accurate till the 3rd of October. Everything is good there. We'll go to our position initialization, grab the GPS position, and get her put in. Then head into our route and request our flight plan. There we are, CYYZ to CYHZ. Set our fuel and our payload. Now we've got no passengers today. We've just got some equipment on we're taking with us for stuff in the back, and then our 2 pilots and our 3-person cabin crew going to be coming along. So that's all done. You can request the plan. Call sign is Caribou 32 as per normal. Normally, you kind of use the airplane registration, but because this is a FlightSim.to livery, if somebody else was using it, I wouldn't be able to use it. So we'll stick with our custom airline call sign.
Contact 12287 when you're ready.
So we're loading the flight plan in. There we go, and we will activate and execute. So over to the departures page. Today we're going to be departing off runway 33 left.
1287, when ready.
And we're going off on the dead key 5 departure, and our transition will be at Olaba. I'll execute that. For our arrival into Halifax, winds are currently out of the south, so we'll be landing on runway 23. It is overcast, so it could be an IFR arrival if that cloud stays there. So back over, it'll be the ILS for runway 23. We'll be going in on the Fundy 5 arrival, I believe it is. It is. And we will be transitioning at Ebony, and we'll be picking it up at Dutier. There we go. So that's all executed and good. So we go back over here to our N1 limits and get all that. We'll import that stuff from the flight plan as well.
That's 2287 for
today's
the
cruising altitude, 41,000 feet. We'll load the information in. still not 100% while recording this, so if you hear me hacking or whatever, my apologies. 41,000 feet is in. Everything is good here. Planned fuel reserves for today. Let's get that set so we don't get the warnings. Fuel reserve is 0.8. So make sure that's in. Cost index of 35 is good. Transition altitude is all good. And we'll come over to our N1 limits. So it's going to require us to pull back so we can see over here. So we're going to be using a regular TO takeoff, and our cell temperature is going to be 32 degrees. We'll go to our takeoff information. Page 2, we'll quickly put in the winds, 280 at 23. It is a windy day here in Toronto. There we go, 280 at 23. Back over to page 1. It's going to be a flaps 1 takeoff. Center of gravity is set. Distance remaining, we'll go 1,100 feet. And we're looking at a 132, 143, 151. 32, 143, and a 151. Those are all now set, and we are good there. So that's all done. We'll come down here and set our radios. There's radio 1, and we'll get radio 2 set as well. Over onto the guard channel.
With
21.5, that is set there.
Scotia 3993.
So with that done, we can come up. Altimeters are set to 905. Transponder, set that to 1000. Filling, loading, and boarding is done. Takeoff data is all set. We are 550 feet, and we're going to be cruising at 41,000. That is set. And MCP. So for MCP, we're going to be, our speed will be 161. It's V2 plus 10. And we're going to be dealing with a pretty strong wind. Runway heading is going to be 327. And we'll set our climb straight up to 41,000 feet. There we go. So with that set, we can go flight directors on. We will get them to pull the stairs.
Foxy 322 is good to kill Alpha Fox. That's 3.
Release the ground power.
Fox 6302.
And it can remove the wheel chocks. That should get the doors all closed as well. Come up here to our lights. We'll get the anti-collision lights on. We're about ready to go. See the stairs coming away. So we're going to push back here, tail to the left. We're going to taxi out this way, just down here. This is 3-3 left over here. And we'll be taking off on that runway. We can see the aircraft over there getting ready to go as well.
Locking gear. Release parking brakes, please.
All right, parking brakes released.
Commencing push.
Blue
All engines clear. Starting
See
wheel.
that card on lane 6?
All right, all engines are clear, lights are on.
I do. Thanks for the heads up there. And
Fuel
any
pumps
safety officers on the
are
frequency?
on. Packs are off. Starting engine number 2.
And unit the user, Blue 345.
Adding fuel.
Apron 16305, ready taxi. Stand by.
Free and short of Alpha Juliet.
Wait for that 18%
Lane 3,
or
short
so
Alpha
when we get
Juliet,
starter cut.
17305.
There's starter cut. Starting engine number 1.
Quebec Whiskey Juliet, coordinator.
Apron, Quebec Whiskey Juliet, that's actually being requesting start for idle.
Adding fuel.
Quebec Whiskey Juliet approved. Call me back when you're finished.
Go back when we're finished, Quebec Whiskey Juliet.
Apron Jazz 553 approaching Delta Tango 253.
Jazz 553, apron, Delta Tango, lane 10 to 253.
Delta Tango, just confirm
Coming
lane
up
11
nicely.
to Jazz 553.
Little corporate jets over here. This is a kind of a private ramp for FBO type of stuff.
Please set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good entry
Brakes are
start.
set. In fact, back over this way, if we pop outside quickly, there's the private FBO terminal over there.
South Delta Lane 10, call for taxi, Jazz 988.
All right, we've got good engine start on both engines.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
All right, so they're going to disconnect. So pop me up top. Generators are on. Both engines 1 and 2 start switches are to continuous. Probe heats are on. It's not required. Engine 1 and 2 engine bleeds are now on. Packs
22,
right and left are on. Recirculation fan is on. Isolation valve is closed. APU bleed is off. APU is coming off.
Unlocking gear.
Moving down, we want flaps 1, so we're going to go to flaps 1. Flaps 1 set and in transit. Elevator trim
Truck disconnected.
4.53. That's pretty much 4.5.
Left
That'll
is
be
clear.
about
Right is clear.
there. Flight controls, we'll go to our systems page. It's full left, full right, neutral, full forward, full back, neutral, left and right rudders. Is good. Engine instruments are all looking good. We'll put them up there. VNAV heading select will be the ones that are armed for our takeoff. Auto throttle is on. Warning recall is checked and everything is good. Taxi light will come on. All right, he's walking away. We are good for our taxi. We will see you down at the runway. All right, we're coming up to 33 left here.
Brickyard 4391, contact apron
Stop for a
12227.
second, do our final checks.
12227, yeah, Brickyard 4391.
Fuel flow reset. Fuel flow numbers should be about equal for both engines. They are. V speeds are checked. 132, 143, 151. MCP data is set. Nav data is good. Radios are all set and ready to go. Position lights are to strobe and steady. Taxi light is off. Turn off lights are on. Landing lights are on. Transponder is set to TARA. Traffic is set on both sides. Runway is identified And we'll set the clock when we're ready to
And
go.
ground
Just
below
quick
Westjet 305, short Alpha Juliet with
out. Everyone
Papa.
was landing on
Westjet 305
right,
down
so
runway
we're good
23,
there.
altimeter 29906, taxi Alpha
Oh, so
Hotel.
we got traffic coming in here,
We'll
actually.
taxi Alpha Hotel, Westjet 305.
There we go.
ET open 553, 11872.
So we'll pull out once he comes in.
552.
Is there a Canada flight? All right. Them down, we'll move out, take position. Those windsocks are blowing 180 degrees to where they should be, which is rather interesting. But it's showing the direction the wind's coming from and not the direction the wind's blowing. A little bit of a coding issue with this airport.
Clear takeoff.
So we're going to have a left-hand crosswind.
28 airborne.
Again, winds are rather strong. Looks like we have a 14-knot crosswind on takeoff here. Might have used 2-3, but this is the runway they're using, so that's fine. We'll get ourselves out and lined up. He's taking the high speed. And looks like he is clear. So, brakes are set.
Delta 4, cross runway 24.
Clock is running.
1219.
Engines to 40%.
877, cross 248, contact ground 1219. Yeah, close to 241 and 1219.
For them to come up and stabilize. Engine stabilized. Takeoff power is set. Brakes released.
Delta target,
Airspeed's live.
534, ILS 24 left.
Dispatch 24, transfer, good afternoon.
Check.
Number 2 to A320 short final, winds 280, 25, gust 30, quarter line, runway 24 left.
Number 2, clear 2924 left, west at 534.
We're fairly light, so we're going to get off pretty quickly.
Positive rate of climb.
Let's gear up.
Air Canada 113, contact Toronto Center on
It's through 1,100 feet.
32 from 7 and 113.
Make that turn now.
Frosty 138, climb 8,000.
And
Climb 8,000,
autopilot is
518.
on. We're on VNAV heading select. Bring up the flaps. Alright, we're doing good. We're going to come down to our legs. We're going to head direct to VVIT now on vectors.
Canada 452, contact Toronto Center 12493.
Or LNAV.
2493,
Away we go.
Canada 452, take care.
Frosty 138, turn right heading 240.
And we're going to continue our climb out as we head out on course out of Toronto. So we'll give you some views as we go, and we'll pick up with you as we descend into Halifax. See you in a bit. Welcome back. We're descending down over Nova Scotia now. We've passed 18,000 feet. Switched over to local pressure. You can see there's some clouds in the area, not picking up anything on the weather radar per se. And we are pretty much We're coming in. We're just going to set our heading to 232 or 233, which is our runway heading in case we have to do a missed approach. That's the heading we're going to fly. We're coming down to 50,000 feet. We're going to want to start slowing down, so we're going to dial in 245 on our speed. And we're going to start pulling out some of the speed brakes here. Start getting us slowed down a little bit.
American 2252, everyone contact departure 19.2. Wind 200.
We're going to try to get ourselves down to that 250 by 10,000. We're on a continual descent. We've got a linked path all the way down to intercept. ILS frequency is in 109.9233 as our ILS heading, as you can see on our course indicator and of course on the primary flight display. Auto brakes are set to 2. Our speed brakes are at 50% currently. So everything is set. Missed approach, basically, if we have to go around, we're going to climb to 3,000 feet and fly heading 233 and self-vector ourselves around for the try. But the weather has improved. Barrel is 29.86. Clouds have broken up a little bit and have moved up to 1,400 feet. So it is starting to look better for us. We're making our turn here. Continuing to slow down to that 245 for 10,000. We can start putting out some flaps when we get there. Go straight to flaps 5. We're coming up for 245.
Staff 52, proceed runway 14.
Alright, so we're going to go to flaps 5. We'll bring the speed brakes up. Flaps 5 are set. And moving. We're still landing on runway 23. Wings are currently at 190, 12 gusting 19. So a slight bit of a left crosswind as we come in. Shouldn't be too bad. Still pick up no real weather in the area, so that should be good. That was our deceleration point there, but we're through it. We're going to carry on our descent downwards. We have a maximum speed of 210 at Logpo and 210 at Duder. So we're going to slow actually do 200. That'll allow us to go to flaps 10 for those turns.
14 and on the kilo.
And we're coming up on the 20-mile ring to the airport.
The Halifax departure identified. Turn right heading 235. Climb flight level 230.
Heading 235. Climb flight level 1030.
Number 5324. Contact Moncton Center now 123 decimal niner.
123.9 and number 5324.
And we're looking good. Into the clouds we go.
Halifax arrival, Air 02, information Delta.
16 degrees outside, so we're not worried about icing as we come in. We're getting kind of low level, so that is good. There's 10,000 feet, so we're going to get our lights on. Turn off lights are on. We'll put on our logo light.
For 14, the RNAV 14.
We're all good there. Airport elevation is set 450 feet is the runway elevation. And everything else is looking good.
Contact Provincial 2254, I'd like to request 3040 knots true. Provincial 2254, 340 knots true is approved.
There's 8,600 feet.
40 knots true is approved, Provincial 2254.
2986, direct TTAR, maintain 9,000 when able to be there, 02.
We pop in and out of the clouds here. So when we arrive, we're going to be turning
357 is up on 135.
off at probably Charlie, and then we're going to taxi down to apron 3, which is kind of the
We have the weather node up there.
scheduled airline apron.
RNAV.
It's right at the southern end of the airport, which is fine, gets us out of the way. There's Halifax coming up through the clouds. I think that's the airport right there. Just make out. Yeah, pop over. See it right there. There's the main terminal. We're going to be parking down over in this section down here behind the clouds.
Frigate 34.
I mean, so we can get a little bit of traffic in the area, but not too bad. Looks like he's departing.
4 departure, runway 14, as filed. Squawk 3621.
There we're coming in. So we're going to consider ourselves on the approach phase. So now, of course, the frequency or check speeds are good. I'm going to bring that down in a second. Speed brakes, we're going to arm.
Staff 52, proceed runway 05, Juliet statement 3 with the turn at Technico.
And speed brakes are armed.
Oh, see, roger.
Now we're 4 miles out, so we're going to bring that speed down to 200. As soon as we fall below 210, we can go flaps 10.
Feeder 02, information echo is now available.
Everything's looking good as we come out of the clouds. This is a 5,600 foot broken layer. There's another broken layer at 14. We can see that below us. Shouldn't be too bad. We're below 210 knots, so we're going to go flaps 10.
Staff 27, proceed across 05. How do you want to get to Beaver?
And we got to be at 5,000 feet. At log flow, there's our turn.
Proceed to River Hotel Beaver. Roger, ground. 27, proceeding.
Little bit of condensation and water coming in from outside.
Delta 155, contact Moncton Center 123-9er.
23-9, have a
Not coming in, but on the windscreen. So a little bit of rain in the area. Wasn't in the forecast.
My frequency 1353.
Commercial 2271 with United 35.
There's more thunderstorms in the vicinity, I guess off that way where the clouds are more built up. A little bit of a rainbow going on under there. Guess there's a little bit of precipitation down under that cloud layer. And we're heading down to 3,000 feet for the intercept.
Sorry, was that for Cedar 02?
Quick view outside. Yeah, nice double rainbows. Coming in. Airport seems to be under the cloud there. Back over here, where it looks like we'll be heading down through it.
American 2252, contact Moncton Center now. 123.
But it's all good.
239, have a good day. American 252.
As soon as we make this turn, we'll slow down to 185. That'll get us set up for the approach. There's the turn. Speed back to 185. 1 hour 33 minutes into the flight. Block time for this flight for today, according to the schedule, was our airtime was 1:42. So we're not doing too bad. We're going to be landing pretty much right on time.
Their state line approach at Fort Hawkesbury. Cleared out of control airspace for the approach at point Fort Hawkesbury. Jet 356.
So we're going to be holding that 10,000 feet,
Cleared en route frequencies. Give me a call back on
or 3,000 feet as we descend down.
On the ground to close your flight plan.
10,000, that'd be a little bit high. As we turn in around, we are picking up the localizer. 600 feet to go. Yeah, definitely East Coast weather going on here right now. Here's our turn. I think we're starting to see some turning on the leaves down here. We are into September, so we'll be getting that. There's our localizer glide slope, so approach mode is active. We'll follow that in. It's us level at 3,000 feet. So approach mode is armed. Engine mode to continuous. We're lining up. Runway is about 8 miles.
Kennedy 913 high level says light chop with pockets of moderate, lasting until 65 west.
Right, that will stay. Thank you for asking, Kennedy 913.
And glide slope. It's captured, down we go. The gear down.
Up by. That's not 2, Juliet Alpha, take 1. Roger, up by.
Gear down 3 green, flaps 15. Speed now coming back to 165. $2,500 feet. Bit of a haze layer under the clouds here. Was reporting a broken layer at 1400, but it looks like we're going through an inversion here. That's fine. We're on the glide slope, we're on the localizer. 2,100 feet to go, about 5.5 miles out from the airport.
Center Provincial 2254, let's request flight level 230 for continuous light chop, occasional moderate turbulence.
It's 5 miles, we're going to come back to 119 plus 5, so 124.
Level 230, potential 2254. Roger, you said it was light chop at 250? Yeah, light chop and occasional moderate turbulence actually for provincial.
Flaps 25, we're going for a full flaps 40 landing.
Let me know how it is down at 230. I believe Gander had a light chop report at flight level 220 from the west.
Flaps 30.
Okay, we'll try 230 and we'll let you know provincial 2254. Roger.
And flaps 40. So flaps down, gear down. Lights are all on, starter mode continuous. Airport's not in sight. 1,200 feet to go. Just keeping an eye, watching for the airport to come in. I see the lights. Starting to come through that cloud layer at 1,400 feet. Looks like it's a bit more diffuse than reported. So we're going to have visibility issues right down to the bottom. Starting to make out the airport environs. Looks like it's the weather's really closed in.
Good day.
All right, I have the runway now. I have control. There's minimums.
50, 30, 20, 10.
All right, reversers are up. Reversers off, getting a little bit of rain now. This is Charlie coming up, so we're going to use Charlie as our exit. Oh, let's get the auto brakes off. They didn't come off
Flight level 230 is pretty
when I
much the
tapped
same,
the
but let's
brakes.
try flight level 210.
Probably didn't hit them hard enough.
Roger, descend flight level 210. Okay, descend flight level 210.
Yeah, definitely got rain going on out here.
Roger.
We'll pick up Foxtrot, thanks for the info, Speeder 02.
Speeder 02, cleared Arnav Zulu, runway 14 approach, T-tower transition.
Very clear for the Arnav Zulu 14 approach, T-tower transition, Speeder 02. Differential 2271.
Yeah, and they just updated the METAR. 500-foot ceilings, IFR with rain, so that's what we got. All right, we'll get ourselves clear here. We're going to turn left when we're ready. All right, all right, so sorry about the cough. Flaps will come up. Speed brake is retracted. Transponder will stay on. Lights will go to steady. Landing lights are off. Turn off lights are off. Taxi lights are on. APU is started. Anti-ice not required. Probe heats will come off. Engine start switches are off. And the auto brake is off. Clear the caution, and we're going to taxi down. So this is Halifax, Canada's West Coast airport. This is the main commercial terminal up at this end. We are going down here to apron 3. So non-scheduled airliners and other aircraft go down there, so that's where we are headed.
The Jet 357, go ahead. Yeah, we're about ready to land. We got Port Hawkesbury inside. Visually like to cancel IFR and cancel any sort of search and rescue.
So if we look at the gate assignments, we're down there. There is a nice one called
Thank you very much.
307. Let's see if GSX is willing to give us that. Not in there. That's cargo.
Speeder 02, contact Halifax Tower, now 118.4.
Over to 18.4, Speeder 02, thank you.
Mitchell 2254, roger, thanks. And you can contact
I don't know which.
Center now 1349er. 349er.
Yeah, and then there's the gate up at the other end, so it's not actually going to give us anything that we can use, so we're just going to play it by eye. Down here. There's a fairly big apron area out here. And we'll put it in to this area here directly in front of us. Yeah, it looks like they might only fit one aircraft in here.
Provincial 2271, contact Halifax Terminal 119.
Probably one of the cargo areas.
Halifax Terminal 192, Provincial 2271,
That's fine.
good day.
We'll use it.
Good day.
Halifax Terminal, good afternoon, Provincial 2271 with Charlie, clearance 10,000, plan to be RNAV 14.
Provincial 2271, Halifax arrival, good afternoon.
And there we go.
2985.
So let's jump back on board. We'll get the parking brake set, and we'll do our shutdown. So jumping in here, we'll go to our menu, ground services. We're going to get the chocks put in, and then we're going to request our ground power. Pop up top, wait for the ground power to be connected. There she is. So we're going to switch over to ground power now. Taxi light, we'll make sure that is off. Logo light can come off. APU is on. APU generators are actually, we're going to switch over to ground power. We'll leave the ground power. We'll get the APU bleeds on. Engine bleeds are off. Isolation valve will open. Recirculation fan will come off. We can pop down to the engines now. We'll get those shut off. As they wind down, anti-collision light will come off. Fuel pumps will come off except for the one for the APU. Blade directors are off. We can get the stairs brought in. Clear that. And here we are. You're gonna bring me stairs. Nope, doesn't look like it. So what we'll do is we'll pop down here quickly, and we'll go to this page. It's gonna be stairs. We're gonna go request stairs at L1. There we go. Here comes our stairs. So thanks for flying along on this ferry flight over to Halifax from Toronto. The next one will take us from here over to, I believe we're going to Cork, Ireland, where we're going to overnight, and then the last leg will take us from there to the start point on our series, which is going to be, just pull it up, in the wonderful town of Venice in Italy. That's where we're going to be starting out from. So we'll see you there. Thanks for coming along. Bye for now.